Hi everyone. In this video, we will discuss the BGP 4-byte ASN number feature on Maipu devices. There are 4 tests. Test 1, IPv4 EBGP. All 3 routers R1, R2, R3 are using the 4-byte ASN number. Test 2, IPv4 EBGP. R1 is using the 2-byte ASN number. R2 and R3 are using the 4-byte ASN number. Test 3, IPv6 EBGP. All 3 routers are using the 4-byte ASN number. Test 4, IPv6 EBGP. R1 using the 2-byte ASN number. R2 and R3 are using the 4-byte ASN number. To get started, let's take a look at here. The 2-byte ASN number pool is 1 to the 65535. 4-byte ASN number pool is from 1 to the 4 to 94967 When you configure the BGP ASN number on Maipu device, you may use the decimal type, or you can use the dotted decimal type. No matter which one you choose, finally it will display with the decimal type. Here, let's go to the test 1, IPv4 EBGP. Here is my topology R1, R2, R3. The IP address of loopback 0 on R1 is 1.1.1, R2 is 1.1.2, R3 is 1.1.3. Between R1 and R2, I use the gigabit interface. The IP address is between R1 and R2 is 12.1.1.1. R2 is 12.1.1.2. Between R2 and R3, the IP address is 23.1.1.2. R3 is 3. Okay, the AS number is all 3 numbers use the 4-byte AS number. R1 is 7001. R2 is 70002. R3 is 7003. The IP I have configured IP address on the 3 routers. So here we just focus on the BGP configuration. On R1, AS number, and create the BGP neighbor with R2. Then network is loopback 0 to BGP. R2 create the a neighbor with R1 and R3. Network is loopback 0 to BGP. On R3, create a neighbor with R2 and advertise is loopback 0 to BGP. Okay, first let's log into the R1. Show IP interface brief to check the IP address. Here. So here we just copy the BGP configuration to router. R2. Show IP interface brief. Here the IP address. Okay. Copy. R3. Show IP interface brief. IP address. Okay, here's all the configuration. Let me check on R2. We use this command to check the BGP relationship. Show IP BGP summary. Here you can see we have a on R2 we have a BGP neighbor R1 and BGP neighbor R3. their AS number is 2001 and 7003. Okay, we also learned the prefix from R1 and R3. We use this command to check the BGP routing table, show IPBGP. You can see here we already learned the loopback 0 of R1 through R1. AS number is 7001. We learned the loopback 0 of R3 through R3, and the AS number is 7003. Okay, that's the first test. Test 2 is IPv4 EBGP. We just, based on the first test, I just changed the R1. The AS number is 2. Is 1. Sorry, to 1. And we also need to change the configuration on R2. Change the neighbor configuration remote AS to 1. Okay. So right now I log into R1. I just use the no command to delay the whole BGP process. And copy the new configuration to R1. Okay, on R2, I will delete this command. Use the no command to delete this command. Okay, the neighbor 12.1.1.1 remote AS is 1. Okay. Right. Okay, that's the configuration. Let's check the result again. Show IP BGP summary. Okay, so right now we can create a BGP neighbor with the R1. His AS number is 2 byte AS number 1. Okay, let's check the BGP routing table. Show IP BGP. We can learn the loopback 0 of R1 through R1. AS number is 1. Okay, that's the test 2. Test 3 is IPv6 EBGP. The IPv6 address on the router 1, the loopback 0 is 123 and 1. On R2 is 123 and 2. On R3 is 123 and 3. Between R1 and R2, I use the 20, 1, 2, and 1. R2 is 2. Between R2 and R3, the IPv6 IP address is 2023 and 2. On R3 is 3. I also configured that IPv6 address on the 3 router. Let me check one by one. Show IPv6 interface brief. Okay. Let's check the BGP configuration on R1. Create neighbor with R2. Remote AS is 70002. In the IPv6 address family, active the R2. Then advertise the loopback 0. Loopback 0. Okay, on R2, we have neighbor R1 and R3. In IPv6 address family, active R1 and R3, and the network is loopback 0. On R3, neighbor R2 and active R2, advertise is loopback 0 to BGP. Okay, let me first delete the whole BGP process first. Then copy the configuration. R2. Show IPv6 interface brief. Here, the IPv6 address. Show run. Let me delete the BGP process. No. Then copy the configuration to R2. R3. Show IPv6 interface brief. Here the configuration, IPv6 address. Let me use the no command to delete the whole BGP configuration process. Then copy the configuration to R3. Okay, let's check the result on R2. We use this command to show the IPv6 BGP neighbor summary. Show BGP IPv6 unicast summary. Show BGP IPv6 unicast summary. Okay, right now we have two neighbor. Neighbor R1, S number is 7001, and there are one prefix from R1. R3, S number is 7003. There are prefix from R3. We use this command to show the IPv6 BGP routing. Show BGP IPv6 unicast. Okay, we have already learned the IPv6 loopback 0 address from R1 through R1, and the AS number is 7001. Learned the loopback IPv6 loopback address from the R3. Okay, right now it's working. Okay, the last test is how we're going to change the S number on R1 to 1. And also I need to change the configuration on R2. Change this command to R1 and active the R1. So let's change the configuration on R1. I will delete the BGP process. Then copy the configuration to R1. Okay, on R2. we need to change this command from 7001 to 1, then active R1 again. So router BGP 70002, no. Okay, neighbor 2012.1 remote as it's 1, and address IPv6 neighbor R1 active. Here's the configuration. Okay, let's check the result. Show BGP IPv6 unicast summary. We have two neighbor R1 and R3. One prefix from R1, one prefix from R3. Show BGP IPv6 unicast. We also can learn the loopback 0 from R1. Its AS number is 1. Okay, so it's working. That's all for tests. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Leave comments if any questions.